Hello students, welcome back. So in this session, we are going to be talking about user-defined functions. These are the functions that are defined by users like you and me. So there are a few advantages of functions. One of them is they make your code modular and easier to read. And you can use the same logic in many places without rewriting your code. And also, they help you break bigger problems into smaller and manageable steps. So let's understand these three statements with some examples. So let's start with the basic functions. In this case, there are no parameters and no return values. I'll show you later on how you pass parameters and return values. Okay, so the way you define a function, you use the def keyword, which is short for define, and then you write the name of the function over here. I'm writing greet. You could have called it anything else. And then there's a open the round bracket, and there's a close the round bracket, and then you have semicolon right here. Then inside you specify documentation. So this is my doc string. So in this case, this is optional, by the way. Don't have to do this thing, but it's a good practice to write documentation of what this function does. And then I'm printing two little statement right here. That's all I'm doing. Okay, and so before I run this cell, let me just remove everything. All right. So I've just defined the function now, and let's run this and see nothing happens because all I did was define the function. I did not call the function yet. So let's call the function now. So now I'm calling a function. I'm using greet. So the way you call a function is just invoke its name. This is how you call a function. Just write its name greet, and when you run it, it's gonna print hello. Welcome to the Python class. You're going to enjoy this. It prints out these two statements and it does not do anything with this documentation. This is just a helpful documentation for our purposes. Okay, now the advantage is you can call this function many times now. So over here, I'm actually calling it another time. So twice I'm calling it, run this, and it prints out twice this hello message. I mean, this print statement executes twice. Well, I can do that four times now. So I'm calling greet four different times, and it's going to print each one of these statements four different times. And as you can see, it printed one time, two time, three times, and four time right here. Okay, now let's deal with the function with parameters and no return values. So in this case, I'm using the same thing. I'm using def keyword. This is my name of the function is greet person, and I'm passing my parameter. In this case, parameter is name. This is a variable. And this is a little documentation string, again, optional, but in this case, I'm just writing just to explain what this function does. Okay, so I'm using f string over here. I'm saying hello, and then this name right here. This name is this name right here. So in this function, anytime when you're using a variable, you have to define the variable inside the function or use the variable from here. Okay, I'm saying hello name, welcome to the Python class. Today you will learn Python. And then I'm calling the function right here. So let me run this cell. And as you can see, I'm calling this function using greet Rahim, greet person Rahim. It prints out hello Rahim. So whatever argument you passed over here, whatever parameter you passed over here, that parameter comes inside this and your name now becomes Rahim. And then it's going to print this message right here. Hello Rahim, welcome to the Python class. And it printed this right here. Okay, now you can actually call the same function but different parameter. This way I'm calling it with Tanwar. So let's run this. And now it's going to print out, hello Tanwar. Hello Tanwar. Welcome to the Python class. Today you will learn Python. As you can see, it printed both the greet for two different person. Well, you can have third person too. In this case, I'm calling greet person with Zina. When you run this, it's going to print hello Rahim, hello Tanwar, and hello Zina, and their corresponding message for all three of them. Okay, so let's deal with a function with parameters and a return value. So let's define a function that takes input from the user and it performs a simple addition. That's all it does. Okay, so this is my function, define a comma b. Okay, def. In this case, I'm actually using two parameters. So my answer is going to be a plus b, and basically I'm just taking this a and this b and I'm just adding them and storing the result in my answer, and then I'm returning my answer. So the way you return a value is by using the keyword return. That's what this word return means. It returns the value. Okay, and so I defined my function right here. Then now I'm going to pass my argument. So in this case, what I'm doing, I'm asking, taking an input from the user, enter your first number, and then I'm converting that into integer because my input, what it does, it returns everything in string. So I'm converting string into int. This is called type casting. Same thing I'm doing with num2. and then I'm passing my num1 and num2 to my add number. And then add is going to take these two numbers that the user supplied, and your num1 and num2, they are going to turn into a and b inside this function, and it's going to perform this computation, and it's going to return the answer right here. So my result now becomes equal to whatever is returned from here. I'm capturing, I'm actually, yeah, the proper word is capturing. I'm capturing that value inside result, and then I'm printing my result right here. Okay, so let's run this. Enter the first number. So in this case, I enter 3. Okay, enter the second number. Let's say 6, and hit, and there you go. The sum is 9 in this case. So my num1 initially became 3, num2 became 6, add, this became 3 comma 6, your a became 3, your b became 6, 3 plus 6 equal to 9. So this became 9, and it returns the 9. When it returns the 9, this result becomes 9. And then here I'm printing my result, which comes out to be 9. Okay, let's take a look at a function that takes two input parameters and returns a minimum of two numbers. So in this case, let's just run this function first. So it's asking enter the first number. Let me just come over here. Oh, yeah. So let's say the first number is 4. Enter the second number. Let's say it's 2. And there you go. So the minimum of 4 and 2 is 2. So it prints out the minimum of two number. And so what's just happening is this. First, I'm defining my function right here. And what it does, it takes the two numbers, a and b. If my a is smaller than b, it's going to return a. Otherwise, it's going to return b. That's all it's doing. So in this case, I'm taking the same thing. I'm taking my input from the user. And once I get the input from the user, I'm passing that input to my get minimum. And my num1 and num2 in this case was 4 and then became 2. So this is my 4, this is my 2. It calls get minimum. The function comes, the control comes over here, and then my a becomes 4. Okay, my b became 2, and then it checks, it performs a check depending on whether 4 is less than 2 or not. It's going to return one or the other. But in this particular case, 4 is not is it less than 2? Well, not really. So in this case, it's going to return 2, and that's what just happened. So it returned 2 over here, and my minimum became 2, and then I print my result, and the answer is 2 right here, this 2. Okay, let's deal with this function. So this function takes three parameters. It takes principal, rate, and time, and returns a simple interest. So in this case, I'm defining this function, calculate simple interest. This is my principles, three principal arguments. Sorry, three parameters. There's a principal, there's a rate, and this is a time. And what it does, it multiplies these three variables together, and it calculates a simple interest, and then it returns a simple interest. Okay, so I define my function first, then I'm invoking that function. Actually, I'm calling this function using P, R, and T right here. Okay, and then whatever this PRT, this comes over here. So my principal becomes 1000. My rate becomes 0.05 because of this value right here. My time becomes 2. Then it's going to multiply all these numbers together, and it's going to return the simple interest. And that simple interest, I capture that in the variable interest, and then I print the interest right here. So when I run this, you can see that it printed interest as 100 right here. So this is just an optional. You can remove this and just run this, and there you go. It prints out your interest is 100.